So how problematic are bots today? Are they going to break the internet, or is the internet going to mutate to something where bots create content for bots to read actually? I stumbled across this problem after I covered GPT-2 and 3 on this channel. So I have covered a lot of topics around that and even created an application around GPT-2, and we have also looked into the possibilities using GPT-3. So what is this video actually going to be about? So we are going to discuss how those bots can create a real threat or a problem for businesses, and how they can mislead customers in that process. So for example, let's say you want to buy something on Amazon and you stumble across a product that you really like, and you see that that product has 10,000 reviews, and you just go through the first comment or the first review or whatever, and you see like, okay, this person just said he was happy with the product, so that's it basically. But the deeper you go into the comments, you're going to notice that they don't make too much sense, or they don't look really human-like, or they are too positive or too negative. Another problem is, let's say YouTubers make their money with ad revenue, like a part of it is ad revenue, and YouTube makes its money by selling those ad spots to advertisers. But you have the problem of bots replacing real human traffic. For example, YouTube has a way of tracking who are bots and who are not, but with the increased technology that we have mentioned here with GPT-3, for example, this is going to become really problematic. Or if you see an advertisement for a certain company or a brand and you see thousands and thousands of comments and likes for that, how are you going to be able to see that those are actually real? So this is actually a huge problem that is posing on certain niches on the internet. So those are mostly going to be social media websites, e-commerce websites, anything where there is just a lot of communication that doesn't require too much authentication or too much personal data. So how does this actually work? You can create a bot, and that bot is going to create an account on, let's say, YouTube for this example. It's going to go to different videos, search for different content, like different videos, comment on different videos, see certain posts, and so on and so forth. This doesn't represent a problem for most applications. So if we again think about YouTube has certain algorithms in place to detect this. So they're going to see, okay, there is a new user that's 1 day old and he has already liked 5,000 videos, and all those videos are in the same niche. So it looks kind of sketchy. And they're going to flag that account and most probably ban it or delete it or whatever. So there are mechanisms in place to detect this. But if the bot behaves a lot like a human and doesn't fall into those traps, so the bot is going to be able to pick a different niche and only like videos in that niche, how can this be stopped actually? So this is the reason, this is the real problem that's going to become real when this becomes widespread. There are already applications that are, for example, doing code completions and so on and so forth with GPT-3, but I don't think that this is yet in a place where this can be commercially used, or it could replace real jobs. Of course, there are certain manual tasks that can always be automated and that are becoming automated or already are automated, but there is still a lot of room left for improvement there. But if you go to my example here, e-commerce website, where there is a lot of reviews and a lot of comments and a lot of likes on something, how are you going to be able to know if this is really reputable, if really a lot of people like this, or is it just fake? So one way of spotting those types of things would be requiring IDs. For example, everyone who creates a Facebook account needs to provide an ID, and with that ID, you can be sure it's not a bot. So I mean, we are not yet there into faking passports and IDs. So this is, for example, one solution. The other solution I have already mentioned, that those sites use machine learning algorithms that detect those unhuman-like behavior. I don't think they are going to be able to catch up to that level that GPT-3 can pose a threat on. So I think this will need to be rethought, because advertisements are working less and less. So people are getting annoyed with advertisements, and now bots coming in, I think that those business models are going to start to crumble. If you think about it, that ad revenue on YouTube. So YouTubers are making their money with ad revenue. YouTube is making their money by selling those ad spots to advertisers. So how could something like this work in a world where you could have 90% of your traffic coming from bots and you're not even able to spot that? So basically anyone could create their own bot and like their own stuff, share their own stuff, and I don't know, drive their brand value up or drive their AdSense revenue up. So this is going to pose a real threat, and I think that those business models are going to start to crumble and are going to be rethought. So this is just my opinion and something I came across mostly by using social media lately and scrolling through YouTube and Facebook and seeing all those types of posts that so one very interesting example was I opened a post on Facebook that was talking about some advertisement agency that they were talking about how great of successes they had during COVID and so on. And then I looked into the comments, and those comments seemed very plausible, like people telling, yeah, it was great, I came across to this website through a friend, referral, and so on. But after going into more depth in those comments, I actually noticed that most of it doesn't seem right. Like people telling, this is amazing, I can't believe how good this is, I found this on Facebook, like stuff that sounds human-like but doesn't represent what actually is said in those comments. Then I investigated this a bit further and found out that those comments aren't actually real. But the thing that I thought about is how real this looked like, and that I needed to invest 5 minutes of my time to reinvestigate the post, so to see if it's real or not. So this is something that crossed my mind and made me do this video, which is different than the stuff I do normally on this channel. So it would be really interesting to see what your opinions on this are, or start a discussion or recommend something for our next video that we could discuss. Or you could also take a look into the other videos I created on the topic of GPT-3 and GPT-2 and creating your own application using machine learning. So I hope you like this video and you give it a thumbs up. So thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.